Now today we have a special guest, Harrison. He's a coach, a relationship coach, a mentor, and also an author to a book called The Love Antenna. So
good memory.
Really, really happy to have him on. We've been having a couple of chats over line and then it all come together and now we're here. And the topic that we'll be speaking about is finding this deep love within yourself so then you can manifest the perfect partner into your life.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this, hey.
So this topic that we were landing on over the last couple of days, you know, it's very big in my life with my beautiful partner Lily, and it's big in my business world with attracting clients. But you know, this theme in general of really going in to attract out, you know, it's applicable in all the areas. And I think if we can start with a very emotional, relationship-focused conversation, then it's sort of, we can see it going into all the different spaces in our life.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same. So I was constantly attracting what people call toxic relationships, but really it was unhealed pieces of myself into my life constantly, until I actually started to do this inner work and actually understanding who I was. And that was the only way I was able to attract my beautiful partner that I have in my life today. That is this beautiful reflection of the love that I have within myself. And without that love, I would have never been able to attract her into my life and have this beautiful connection. So yeah.
I think we spend most of our lives externally, right? We spend most of our lives in the environment because we think that's the place we'll be safe, right? We get taught by our school, by our parents, by, you know, the world, movies, music, that my love is out there. Like when I find the person, when I find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, then I'll be good, right? We're taught in magazines, we're taught in movies that I must find the soulmate to be complete. Because of that, there's a lot of losing ourselves, right? We put on different masks and shapes in order to fit the box that we think we need to be in, right?
Do you feel the reason why we're always looking external is because we get taught about conditional love and never really shown what unconditional love is? So we're always looking outside of ourselves to find love, when really we've got to look inside of ourselves to find that love within ourselves. Yeah,
that's a big one, right? Lily and I were talking about this the other night, the difference between being taught what you're saying by parents, by our upbringers, by our people in our childhood reality, the difference between conditional love and unconditional love. If we've been taught conditional loving, then it's going to unconsciously be in our psyche, and we're going to be attracting from that place, right? We're going to be bringing in partners, bringing in dynamics that match us, right? And we'll think it's normal, but then we'll be left, you know, wondering why we feel so empty, right? We'll be left wondering why we feel like this relationship I'm in is not enough. It's because it's based around conditions. And this isn't, like, it's very easy to say, I'm going to unconditionally love everything, right? It's very easy to say, I'm going to unconditionally love everything that shows up in my reality. But there's a difference between thinking unconditionally and embodying it, right? There's a difference between, oh, I read this in a spiritual book and I theoretically understand this lesson, but what does it look like to act, right? What is it you were talking about this morning about a retreat you're maybe manifesting, right? These different practices that we can do with our partners to embody unconditional love. So this is really, if we want to make the shift in our relationships, in our service, in our gifts, we have to move from thinking about unconditional love to actually stepping forward and embodying it, even if it looks messy.
Yes. And that all comes down to suppressing the shadowness of who we are. You know what I mean? Like, we look at it as like bypassing what actually needs to be healed. We'll do certain practices to be like, okay, I'm healed now, instead of going, okay, what would it take for me to have that gratitude for who I was before? How can I give that person I was before more love, more compassion, where it's like, I love you for who you were. Like, you were just very distracted, very confused, and now because of you, I'm who I am today.
Yes. And like when you say you in that situation, not just the external people that came into your life, the shadows and the external people, but also the shadows that we meet on the inside. I did a beautiful post this morning about, I'm so grateful for the parts of me that were unconscious in my childhood, in my adolescence, in my younger adulthood. I know we share a lot of common history in terms of like unconscious behaviors, right? Not just unconscious loving to external people, but unconscious loving to ourselves, right? Drinking, drugs, all the things. And we all have this within us. But there is a big difference between, first becoming aware of it, but then becoming aware of it and loving it, right? Because it's so easy for us to judge the shadow sides of ourselves and push it down even more. And then we attract, again, partners that reflect that. And we're asking ourselves the question, why do I keep manifesting the partner that's abusing me, right? Why do I keep manifesting the partner that doesn't give me doesn't hold me, doesn't provide the security, doesn't provide the support? Well, it's because I haven't witnessed the part of me that's screaming inside that wants that support from myself.
Yes, definitely. It's definitely finding that compassion for that part of yourself more than anything, and giving that part of yourself more love, for sure. That's definitely what I've found in my healing journey. Was I had to learn how to forgive myself. And it doesn't matter what happened in my life. Once I was able to forgive myself, it was like I was letting go. And it wasn't just forgiving myself, but it was forgiving other people that have done wrong by me in the sense of what this reality is, when really, now that I look at it, life has happened for me, and it was there to teach me something. And that's when I was able to accept it, and that was what I was able to allow me to start healing, was from that acceptance.
What you were just saying in relationship to the victim, right? I think this is the biggest unlock for anyone watching, for anyone tuning in, whether you are in whether you're looking to manifest romantic partnership, whether you're looking to manifest more people into your sort of business, service, gifts-based world. The more victim consciousness that you can love into submission, like loving submission, more victim conscious you can love inside of yourself to an opening, the more will flow into your world, right? Because as you beautifully said, we don't live in this reality of happening to us. We live in this reality that's happening for us. We're choosing to be here in all aspects of our life. So part of the stopping of that magic is thinking that we're victim to this external reality. But when we can see that the external is us, right? When we can see that we are beautiful waves on the ocean that we are all a part of, right? Then we can receive the gifts, right? And part of that gift is intimacy, right? Part of that gift is connection. Part of that gift is romance and love.
Yes, definitely. And once we realize that we're only here for a short amount of time, and we're here to experience all of what this reality is here to offer. And once we can accept that life is happening for us, that's when we allow ourselves to see this power within ourselves. Because there's no more limitation. There's no more, I can't do this, I can't do that, or this is happening to me. It's more like, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? And that to me it gave me growth more than anything. Yeah.
And I think this is the role of mentors in your reality, right? This is the role of, there's a reason that we do the things that we do, right? There's a reason that I coach people in the way that I coach people. It's because sometimes we can't see the unconsciousness that we're in, right? That's what unconsciousness means, right? I am unconscious to the way that I'm acting. Yet, when we're in this unconscious reality, like I was, like you were, there's usually a lot of pain happening, right? There's a lot of pain coming in to help us to see that which we cannot see. And in those moments of pain, we can still choose, right? We can still choose, okay, I don't get this. I don't get why I can't attract my soulmate, right? I don't get why I'm not manifesting clients. I don't get why my financial situation isn't getting better. But I do know I'm being pulled to Cody. I do know I'm being pulled to Harrison. I do know I'm being pulled to Lily. So I make that choice, right? And they help me out of the unconsciousness back into my power, like you said.
And something come up for me when you were talking about unconscious, being unconscious to what's going on with us. And do you feel that's because we're running this pattern
Yes.
that was taught to us when we were a child? So this is the way it has to be. So we
Yes.
start doing this pattern that keeps showing up in our life to not realize that it's actually not us.
No. So you referenced at the start of this conversation, you referenced my book. And one of the chapters in my book is called The Ancestral Breaker of Chains. And in that chapter, I talk a lot about this passing on of not just mental stories, but suppressed emotion.
Yeah.
Right? I'll use an example. Let's say my beautiful mother has some deep suppressed shame that for whatever reason in her own beautiful way was unable to meet that and love it. Well, it's very likely that she's going to pass on that ancestral shame into me, right? And now I get the beautiful gift to show up, whether it's through my service, my gifts in the world, whether it's through in relationship with people, I get the opportunity to transmute that shame. And the cool thing is that it doesn't just heal me, right? Ancestral healing heals forwards. So with my current children, I either have or don't have yet, and heals backwards to my mother.
Yep.
So my mum doesn't have to deal with that shame. She can in her own way if she wishes, but if I choose to illuminate the shame in me, it impacts her.
Yep.
And the same is in our relationships, right? Our intimate relationships. If I see Lily in my world and she's coming in with some deep sadness and she knows she has to deal with it, but I see it, there's also most likely a part of that sadness in me. So I can help her by meeting it in myself.
Yep. And it's like one of the patterns is self-sabotage.
Yes.
It's like people get to a point where everything's good and then they just sabotage it, like they don't deserve it. And this can stem back into ancestral stuff of what they've been taught is you have to do this to
Yes.
get the thing. It's not like the thing is just here. It's like you got to
No.
do this to get the thing. And then if you're not this certain person, then you don't get the thing.
Well, this like the way that you just said it was a very human way of describing the unconditional versus the conditional loving, right? As we talked about before. If you don't do the thing, you don't get the thing. Where in reality, the deepest form of love that we are is unconditional. So what does that mean? That means that we never needed to prove, or in your words, we never needed to do the thing to get the love, right? We never needed to do the thing to have connection. We never needed to do the thing to have intimacy. We never needed to do the thing to feel the support that I'm looking for in the external person, right? So we can, again, I'm theoretically describing it, we can embody it within our relationship. So if you're hearing what I'm saying or you're hearing what Cody's saying, okay, you get it, but now act from that place, right? What does it look like in your unique relationship and your intimate connection to express that unconditional love, right? I'll give a very specific example, right? This is one that comes up in our relationship a lot, is money, right? Money and spending and paying for things, right? And it's one of the biggest areas of life that this conditional way of loving comes up is money, is paying for, like, I'm gonna pay for you, and on the surface we'll be saying, oh, I just love you and I'm doing this for you. But under it we're saying, oh, they're gonna give me something later, right? I'm gonna buy dinner and then you're gonna get dinner next week, right? I'm gonna buy food, and then so one practical way that you can start to meet this is like, buy the thing, do the thing, pay for the thing from fullness, from unconditional. Like, do the thing because you love this person, but do it truly and expect nothing.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, when you pay for something and you expect something back, it's not true unconditional love. Unconditional love is where you're coming together and you just love each other for who you are.
Yeah.
Of course you want to grow and learn and expand with somebody, but not to have the expectation of them to do that.
Yes.
And allow them to go on their own path. If that's not where they are in life, just let them walk. And don't hold on to them. Don't make them have to stay with you. Allow them to go on their path, their journey, because that's where they've got to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, a big thing that comes up with me and my partner is money too. And it's not about spending on each other. It's more like she doesn't feel comfortable to talk about finances. I feel comfortable to talk about finances because money it's a big part of our relationships. Mm-hmm. And the way I see money now is it's energy. Mm-hmm. It comes in, it goes out. When we have fear behind it, we stop ourselves from being able to receive it. But also, if we're always giving and not willing to receive, then that stops us from being able to receive it too. So what I do is I'm like, okay, well, are you open? Do you have the capacity to speak to me about this topic? Because I feel this is the way we're able to grow in the relationship. If we're making things taboo and putting things under the rug, then that's not giving us the ability to grow.
No.
And to actually expand in our relationship. So now we have times where we actually do talk about money.
Yes. So this, I think, it's beautifully said. And I think that's going to help a lot of people the way that you're describing it. And this brings up a topic of conscious communication. Right?
Yes,
Like we wouldn't be able to have this whole podcast episode without speaking about this, right? And this is really, again, whether it's in romantic intimacy with your partner, whether it's in your business world and you're giving your gifts and your service to the world, conscious communication is your superpower, right? Conscious communication is your superpower because it allows you to illuminate the fear, right? It allows you to illuminate the darkness coming up both in you and the other person, whether that's a partner, client, friend, whoever, right? Speaking the thing despite the fear will always bring more love. It may not feel like it in the moment because there'll be emotion come up, right? There'll be heaviness, you'll probably be triggered. But when you speak the thing in a safe container, right? And that's another important element, right? The conscious communication allows the fear to start to disperse, right?
Yeah, and when I hear conscious communication, what comes up for me is like our wants, our needs, and our desires. You know, most people in relationships, they don't talk about their needs and their wants. They reduce themselves. They
stay small.
They stay small. Yeah, they stay small, and they feel like they have to be a certain way for the relationship to work.
Yes.
They take away their authentic self and they create a character that they're playing out into the relationship. And this, I feel like this is what comes up in the start of relationships. We start off in the honeymoon stage where things are going wild. There's a lot of chemicals going everywhere. There's a lot of feelings going everywhere. And then once we get to the power struggle stage, things start coming up for us where we're like, oh, I'm not feeling honored. I'm not feeling respected. I'm not feeling this. How do I speak to them about this? The thing is, the way I look at it is, have them uncomfortable conversations when you're just starting to want to date each other. If you're just having fun with each other, that's okay. Look, at the end of the day, having fun with each other, it doesn't work. Yes. One person will always get feelings and then one person will be hurt, but that's a choice.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's a choice. So with that, have them uncomfortable conversations of like when you get into an argument, how do you regulate your nervous system?
Yes.
Like, are you emotionally ready for a relationship? Like all these things need to come up. I feel from what I witness is everybody's trying to stay in this honeymoon stage. It doesn't stay forever.
No.
It's not a forever thing.
Yes. Well, again, a lot in there and beautifully said. I mean, I think I would first begin by, you know, one of my favorite topics to speak about is loving without boxes, right? And we've already spoken about it to a degree. And one of the biggest boxes in any kind of romantic intimacy is what you're saying is the honeymoon stage. It's because it comes with a lot of different expectations, like we talked about, a lot of different attachments, a lot of ways we should be. And I think that, you know, when we start to meet the things beyond the play or the fun that you're talking about, and I would say that play and fun need to be there, but they need to be there in balance with the uncomfortableness, right? They need to be there with the balance of, oh, I don't feel good around Lily at the moment. I don't feel good around Cody at the moment. What's going on? Meeting it in myself, but also allowing myself to speak it to this other person.
Yeah.
Right? If they're going to be around you for any significant amount of time, again, whether it's in romance or business, they're going to feel it. They're going to, whether you are speaking it or not, that person's going to feel your resistance. They're going to feel what you're suppressing. So beat them to it, right? Speak the thing, create the container, and allow the love to flow, right? The other thing I would say, and then we can get on to maybe one more topic here, is we need to redefine in these relationships what love is, right? Is love, as I just said, is it just the playful fun?
Yeah.
Or is it also the deepest darkness? And I would say, going back to this idea of unconditional essence, what does unconditional mean? Unconditional means yes. So if I'm asking, is love the play and the fun? Yes.
Yes.
Is love the darkness, the shame, the guilt, the judgment, the fear? Yes.
Yeah.
But the question is, where am I getting stuck? Right? Am I too much in the fun and the play? Am I too much in the darkness and the guilt and the shame? Or am I walking in the middle, holding hands with this person and being open to transform it all?
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful said.
So what, we've hit on a lot of topics. What else do you want to hit on before we finish? What's something else? So we hit on, do we want to talk about attachment styles?
Yeah, well, that was what was sort of coming up when I was listening to you speak, and the attachment styles. So you've got like, the main ones are just like you're avoidant, you're anxious, and you're secure. So secure is when somebody has a very, very good relationship with their caretaker, where they're shown both sides. They're not just given lots and lots of love, but they're taught about boundaries at the same stage. Because when you give someone too much love, or you give them conditional love, where you give them love and you're like, you got to do this, then they become a people pleaser. So it's like, it's a double-ended sword when it comes to attachment styles. You can have the perfect life, but what exactly is perfect life, you know? And when it comes to when it comes to avoidant, is where the caretaker, it allows the child to not have love. And because the child isn't experiencing love, then they just retract away. They're like, okay, I associate love with pain now. So I don't want that. So,
I think one of the powerful things with understanding attachment styles, other than what you beautifully articulated, right, from the mental perspective, for me, attachment styles, again, whether it's in romance, business, whatever the dynamic of the connection is it helps us to see that we love differently. Right? It helps us to see that the way that love language is another thing we could throw in here, right? The way that my love language is expressing through me based off my attachment styles is different to how this person expresses love in their attachment styles. So from that place, where can I bring acceptance, right? Where can I bring compassion? Because we're so good at placing the other person in our belief system, right? We're so good at placing that person in like, oh, they must be like me, right? So if they're not acting like me, that's wrong, right? Or I'm wrong. So I think, on top of what you're saying around attachment styles, what they help us to really do in relationships in general is to meet the person where they're at, right? And when we can meet them, we can see them. And if we can see them, our heart opens, and that's where love can flow.
And that comes back to conscious communication. Communicating your needs and wants. So if there is a certain need when it comes to your love language, then being able to speak to that person about it and having these conversations of, look, my love language is physical touch. Like, what can we do where I can actually experience that without making it an expectation?
Yes.
It's like any type of love language, when you speak about it consciously, then the person actually has the awareness, because theirs might be gift giving, or theirs might be another one.
Affection.
Yes.
Words of affirmation.
And really, all you're doing is craving this touch when you don't realize that they're speaking their love to you instead of feeling their love with you.
Yes. Oh, it's so good, right? Like this is such an unlock for everyone tuning in. If you can really, and you don't need to like know all of them, but I think again, just start with the understanding that everyone's different, right? And if you can see them in that difference, then you can learn, right? I've learned so much from Lily and her beautiful love language and how it's different to mine. And I've started getting better at other ones, right? Not because initially I wanted to, but because that's how she received love. And because I love her and I want to be closer to her, I then took it on, right? And then realized, oh, I actually like doing this, right?
Yeah,
I actually like this love language. Now that even though I want to give it to Lily, this is something now that I can practice with other people because I enjoy it. And that initially started because I saw it in her, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a learning in general around acceptance, right? When we can accept someone fully, we don't have to agree with them. We don't have to like drop our boundaries and become unsafe, especially like in the business world, right? But if we can accept and love them and see them fully for what they are, then there's learning, right? There's love exchange, there's growth for both people.
And that all comes down to honoring your partner.
Yeah.
Because if you can see that they have a different love language and it doesn't really resonate with you, but you're willing to explore it, then that's honoring.
Yeah.
And that's what relationships are all about. Once you can honor your partner, then you allow them to feel safe and comfortable with you. So yeah,
It's beautiful.
such a beautiful first podcast.
Yeah. Just give me a hug.
Oh,
It's, I think, other than the hug, which is beautiful, maybe let's finish with, a summary or for people tuning in to this show, and there's going to be many more episodes that you're going to do.
yeah.
Right? So maybe we both can finish with, based off everything you've said and then based off everything I've said, what's one sentence you want to give people that they can take in their week, whether it's relationships or love in general, that is really going to leave them empowered?
Don't expect to be someone to experience love. Because love is unconditional.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be the thing to get the thing.
Yeah. You're already worthy. I would say on that, I got goosebumps for that one. I would say on top of that, it's okay for it to be slow, right? It's okay for it to take time. It's okay for whether it's you're learning about love language, whether you're learning about intimacy, attachment styles, the actual manifestation itself, which is another topic we can talk about another day. Like, how do we actually get clear around what we want to bring in? Whatever it is, knowing that there is no timeline, right? There is no race. There is no linear progression of I'm here and I need to be there, and if I'm not there, then there's something wrong.
Yes.
Right? It's honoring and accepting, just like we said, you honor and accept the person outside of you. That acceptance and that compassion first must begin with yourself and exactly where you are in your journey.
Awesome.